Welcome back, and my name is Maddie. If you're wondering how to make cinematic content like me, it's easy, and I'm about to show you. And let me break it down to you in just 4 simple steps. Now, the first topic is going to be kind of controversial and is going to be about gear. What camera to use, what mic to use, stuff like that. Now, there's a big debate on whether gear does matter or if it doesn't matter. And honestly, I've used expensive pieces of gear and I've used cheap pieces of gear. And honestly, the answer is a yes and a no. And I'm about to explain why. Now, if you plan to shoot in really low light conditions, then yes, gear does matter. Something like the Sony FX3, which is about like a $4,000 camera. That's really going to help you because it has dual base ISO and it's really good in low light. Or if you plan to shoot wildlife, then having a good lens, having a good zoom lens, then yes, gear does matter. But if you're planning just to shoot cinematic videos or simple vlogs like this, then no, gear does not matter whatsoever. And I've spent too much money, hundreds, if not thousands of dollars worth of gear, and I'm about to show you the essentials. Things I bring with me almost all the time that I'm shooting. And it's probably simpler than you think. Now, the first and most obvious thing is gonna be your camera. If you're wondering what I shoot on a Sony ZV-E10 with a Tamron 17 to 70 millimeter lens. But for example, if you do not have a camera, something like your iPhone will be just fine. When I first started out, I shot on this iPhone 11 and it was just perfectly fine. So trust me guys, even if you don't have a camera, you can still have amazing videos. Remember, the best camera for you is the camera you already have, so please do not forget that. Now, the next most essential thing is going to be a tripod. Now, whether your tripod looks like this or if it looks like this, honestly, having a tripod is the most essential thing you can have, just so you can get nice, stable, cinematic shots. Now, the next thing that is really essential, and honestly, if you plan to shoot in the daylight, and it's going to be an ND filter. And now you may be wondering,
what is an ND filter?
In the simplest term, it's basically sunglasses for your camera. Now, the next very crucial thing, and honestly, I think this is more important than the camera, it's gonna be good audio. Now, whether that be a DJI wireless mic like me, or if you plan to use a Rode mic just like this one, both will be fine. Trust me, good audio is so much more important than good visuals, and that's something I've learned the hard way. And now the next part, honestly, I don't really need to explain this, but it's gonna be batteries. Whether that be more batteries for your camera, a V-mount battery, or just a big power bank like this, more batteries are always good. Okay, so now that you have all the gear settled, next thing is going to be scripting. What story being told, what's the lesson to be learned, what your video is going to be about. Ask yourself all of these questions. And before, I never really scripted my videos, and it would just make the whole video process take 10 times longer. So please trust me when I say write down your script, whether that's Google Docs, your notes, whatever you want to use. Write down a script. Now, number 3 is shooting. Now that you have your script, now it's the fun part, which is the shooting part. And usually I recommend having a shot list. That way, when you're shooting and you're finished, editing will be much easier for you. I personally don't use a shot list, which I probably should. And honestly, the times I did use a shot list, everything was much easier, but I'm lazy. But don't be like me, do as I say, not as I do. Now, when you're out shooting, one tip I really have, and this is something that you should always keep in your brain, is composition. Now, composition can be things such as rule of thirds, leading lines, just to name a couple. And having good composition can really have that cinematic touch. Now, the next big thing, and it's pretty obvious, you might have heard this before, is lighting. Lighting is everything. Please do not forget that. Now, I use a lot of natural light, whether I'm out and about shooting or if I'm just in my room and all I have is my window, like this. Like that. I use a lot of natural light, and honestly, you do not need a lot of fancy lights. Now, if I'm shooting in my room and it's late at night, then I'll have something called 3-point lighting, and it basically looks like this. But yeah, this is basically how my setup will look like. It's very simple. I have my key light, which is, I have this light. It's on top of my camera. It's basically just a little panel like this, and it lights up. So yeah, that's my key light. And then I have my fill lights, which, if I move this camera, is actually gonna be my computer and my TV. And then as a backlight, it's obviously gonna be my LEDs. 3-point lighting, very simple, is really easy. Honestly, this is probably not the best example, but this is what I use as my 3-point lighting. There's probably better examples online that you can probably look up, but honestly, this is a really good example though. Number 4, editing. Now you have to edit the video. Honestly, all video editing software is good, but for me, I use DaVinci. I have the paid version, but honestly, if you're not looking to use any crazy sort of color grading or any sort of effects, then honestly, the free version is probably be perfect for you. Now, when you're editing, one thing to keep in mind is sound design. This will make your video 100 times better, and I'm not even lying when I say that. Now, I may not be the best at explaining, but watch these 2 video clips and tell me which one is better. As you can see, sound design is very important because it keeps your viewer hooked and it makes them keep wanting to watch. It also adds depth and it makes it cinematic. And now you're pretty much all done. And all you got to do now is post. Thanks for watching. You've been watching Maddie. Please like, comment, subscribe. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.